Yesterday I have talked about Priyaya Sutta, and that Sutta, Buddha explained how a specific Vajranga is divided based on the nature, the characteristic, and general conditions of it. Most of us understand that there are only 7 Vajranga, 7 factors of enlightenment. By knowing about that classification, one more clearly understand about Vajrangas. Today I'm going to explain each Vajranga in some detail so that you can understand all mental states, any mental condition, positive mental condition occurring in the mind. Of 7 factors of enlightenment, the first Vajranga is Sati. Sati is a Pali term. It is structured with 2 components, the root sarat and suffix tit. The root sarat means to remember, to be aware, to focus. Tit means act of being focused, act of being aware. So the term itself is very clear and explained by itself. In commentaries, the nature of sati is explained in more detail. Now let me share what is said in the commentary. Sati apilabhana lakkhana. Sati by nature is not scattering of the mind, nor being distracted. And also, upaganana lakkhana. It means the mind remains close to the object. Upaganana, upa closely, kanana grabbing the object of meditation closely without leaving it. So this is the expression regarding basic characteristic of the sati. The moment sati occurs and strongly sustained, the mind is not scattered. The mind remains focused on the object. So this is the characteristic of sati. Asamosana rasa. The function of sati is not losing the side being focused. In this case, meditation object. The mind remains there. It doesn't lose the sight of the meditation object. So this is the function and the role of the sati. Aramana visya bimukhi bhava pichupatana. Sati clearly seems as the mind being inclined to the object. This is a general description of how the mind operates and occurs. The mind always inclined to the object of meditation. This is what sati means. If there is a strong presence of sati, then one is fulfilling this sati bojjhanga. Sati bojjhanga in the initial phase of the practice, let us say for a couple of weeks, is still weak and not strong yet. A meditator needs to have patience and perseverance in maintaining sati so that it increase and gain momentum and become sustained. And Bodhisattva's sati is mentioned as sabbataka. Sabbataka means always necessary in every situation. Either you are practicing meditation or doing daily chores in your house and your office and your workplace. Without sati, unnecessary things can happen. So sati is very important. In Buddhist text, it is sometimes compared to salt. In every kitchen of every household, salt is a necessary component. Without salt, any dish or any food would be tasteless. So, the role of sati is evident in meditation. Sometimes I easily explain how sati is like a capital of a businessman. A businessman needs capital to start business. In the same way, a meditator, if you want to progress, need to have a strong presence of sati, this wonderful quality of the mind in his consciousness in the spiritual flow. Now let me continue to explain the second bojjhanga, Dhamma Vijaya. Dhamma Vijaya is a kind of two words, combination of two words, Dhamma and Vijaya. It is a compound noun. Dhamma means mental and physical phenomena. Vijaya means analysis. We see and art. Vijaya itself is a combination of three words, three components. We, prefix, and see is the root. A is just only a suffix. We means specially, analytically, from every perspective and from every angle of logic. C means picking up and analyzing. A is just only suffix which symbolizes action. So action of analyzing spatially based on logic and reality. So altogether, the Pali Dhamma Vijaya means analysis of the mental and physical phenomena based on reality, not based on egoistic thinking. This is very important. I add egoistic thinking because we have deeply grounded, very firm notions of personal identity. This personal identity, which is referred to by use of labels such as Rover, Jenny, male and female, animal, etc., are always present and necessary in everyday world. When one is trying to attain enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment, and intellectual enlightenment, and spiritual liberation and intellectual liberation, one need to go beyond boundary of conventional thinking, conventional wisdom. There is nothing wrong with the use of I and me, or he and she, Rava and Jenny, etc. They are necessary in everyday world on conventional level. Without them, even the Buddha cannot teach the Dhamma. That's why it is a necessity in the conventional world. But a more higher and most advanced state of spiritual pursuit, known as meditation, situation is different. You have to shake up your conventional thinking. You have to set aside preconceived notions which are deeply rooted and conditioned since we were born. Even before we were born in the past existence, we have these strong notions of I and me. We hold on to those conventional notions and conventional attachments of ourselves, of our loved ones, our surroundings. When something bad, unpleasant, unacceptable happens, we are hopeless and devastated. We feel so much pain and suffering. The purpose of Buddha's teaching is to liberate you from that kind of emotional suffering, endless suffering. Buddha's teaching gives you immunity, spiritual immunity, and mental resiliency. But on condition that you must follow Buddha's teaching with utmost sincerity and utmost dedication and commitment. Lip service alone is not enough. Casual interest alone is not enough. Casual commitment alone is not enough. You have to make very serious and dedicated effort to break through this egoistic conditioning. That's why I have had egoistic notions, etc. To Vijaya, the term Pali word, Vijaya itself is very much special because it has wonderful meaning. So Dhamma Vicaya means specially analyzing of mental and physical phenomena, including oneself and everything around, not based on ego and deeply conditioned notions of ego, I and me, but based on truth and logic. This is what the term Dhamma Vicaya means. Now I would like to explain all the relevant aspects of what Dhamma Vicaya means. First of all, it has the characteristic of analysis. In the commentary text, it is said, Vicaya Lakkhana. Vicaya, special analysis, Lakkhana, characteristic. Dhamma Vicaya has the characteristic of analysis, special analysis. All vasana rasa. Its function is to enlighten, to illuminate, to dispel the darkness and the ignorance. This is the function of the Dhamma Vicaya Bojjhanga. Asamoha Pachupattana. This is a general expression regarding what Dhamma Vicaya means. It is just freedom from confusion, being free from confusion and ignorance. The moment Dhamma Vicaya develops, confusion is gone, removed. Like the moment the light is on, darkness is gone. Because they are interrelated. If there is no light, there will be darkness. If there is light, there will be no darkness. It's very clear. In essence, Dhamma Vicaya is knowledge. This knowledge is one of the mental capacity which everyone possesses. The moment you were born, you have this capacity, even though you don't. You cannot distinguish everything in detail. It needs time. In this case, Buddhist mentioned about that a person's faculties are like the fruits, like the flowers. Fruits and flowers need time frame, a specific time frame to start budding, to start blooming, to change into small fruit and reaching slowly maturity, and until it becomes full-blown flowers, full of colors, and fully mature fruit, ripened fruit. In the same way, a person's faculties needs time and proper condition. That's why Buddha himself always not in a rush, not in a hurry to teach anyone. He checked whether it is the right time for an individual to receive his teaching. If there is not maturity yet of that person's mental conditions, mental faculty, he waits, Buddha waits. It's a very wonderful quality of the Buddha's capacity to know others' mental conditions in detail. like the scientist or scientific instrument can analyze a certain physical stuff, physical thing. To be able to know one's mental conditions in every detail is much more difficult and almost impossible from viewpoint of the material science and physical science. Buddha is a spiritual scientist, perfectly accomplished and skilled in analyzing the mind, not only of his own mind, but also others' mind. This kind of ability in Buddhist text is called Indriya Propriety Jnana. Indriya means mental faculties. Properties, the conditions of being mature and immature. Jnana means knowledge. The knowledge we can discern mature or immature state of the mental conditions of a certain individual. How great and how amazing it is. Even a mother cannot know exact mental conditions of her own son and daughters. That's why parents always have some sort of conflict with their children. In Buddha's case, Buddha never have any conflict with the disciple. He always check whether it's the right time or not to teach. If the time is not right yet, he just waited. If that person is not possible to receive his teaching, he ignore it. Even though he may be living a few distance, a few feet apart. This is how Buddha is very skillful in giving efficient and targeted teaching in his life. That's why he's the most successful teacher. Now, I have explained regarding Dhamma Vijaya Sambhojjhanga. Now let me continue to explain Viriya Bhojjhanga. The term Viriya is a combination of two words, Vira, Iya. Vira means courageous, of those courageous. Iya is a suffix. This is a enhanced noun, known technically as Tadita noun in the grammatical expression. So Vira Iya means the actions of brave and courageous. It's very wonderful. In simple English, it is interpreted as effort. Effort, endeavor. So the term Viriya itself mentions about a meditator's effort who have made courageous effort to come to the retreat center by leaving everything behind and to commit oneself to the practice. No ordinary person with the casual interest and commitment can do such kind of long-term retreat. It is not for lazy people. It's not for weak-minded, weak-hearted people. It's not for those with lukewarm interests. It's for those with a serious interest and dedicated commitment. That's why Viriya is very appropriate and very relevant term for a meditator. Viriya is very important capital of a meditator. Sati and Viriya Bhojjhanga. These two Bhojjhangas are capital Bhojjhangas, which is similar to capital money of a businessman. You have to have these two capital, Sati and Viriya Bhojjhanga, If you have a combination of Sati Sambhojjhanga and Viriya Sambhojjhanga, then a meditator surely progress in his meditation. Now let me explain all the detailed aspects regarding Viriya. And commentary, Viriya is mentioned having Pakha Lakna. Pakha means lifting up and propping up. Pa and Kaha, a combination of two words. Pa, family. Kaha means grabbing, to grab family. And also to lift up. Pa also means specially. Kaha means grabbing and lifting up. Lagana means characteristic. So Viriya has the characteristic of lifting up, being motivated. Here is the opposite of the laziness in action. It is also opposite of the being unmotivated. Those who are not motivated, those who are lazy and passive, always remain inactive, giving excuse of every kind. A man of Viriya is very different. He is always active, motivated. He knows the purpose of being alive. The purpose of being alive is not only to enjoy oneself, to eat as much as one can, to do whatever one wants, and then to sleep. That's not the purpose of being alive. The purpose of being alive is to be someone good, to be doing something good for oneself, for other people, to fulfill one's moral obligation and social obligations, to accomplish and to establish oneself in the society by trying to have decent social status. Having a good education and being graduated from a high school or college or university. Having a job so that he can provide himself with a regular income for his family also. In the same way, in meditation, Viriya is very much important ingredient of a good meditator. Without Viriya, one cannot establish oneself, one cannot accomplish anything. So now regarding function, Viriya has upatamana rasa. Pali wa upatamana rasa is a compound noun. Upatamana is a kita noun, and both combination of upatamana and rasa are a compound noun. Let me explain the first component, upatamana. Upa is a prefix. Tamana is a combination of two words, tavi and yud. Tavi means being strong and being erect. Ana means Arab. Arab being erect and strong. Upa means closely in a fixed way. Altogether, this word upatamana means being lifted up, being propped up. It is not weak. It is being lifted up because it is reinforced by a very strong structure. Rasa means function. So Viriya has the function of being motivated, being lifted up. The mind is not downcast. The efforts are relentless. It's not sluggish and slow. So the moment Viriya arises in a person, he starts moving himself up and start walking on his choosing path. In this case, a Maridra has embarked on the spiritual path for spiritual awakening, a spiritual path for spiritual transformation, spiritual path for spiritual enlightenment. How wonderful it is to be on this path. Now, let me explain general expression regarding Viriya general view. Anodana, anosidana, pichubatana. And this is a very beautiful word said in a commentary. Anosidana is a combination of three components: na, awa, and sida, and yud. Let's say four components. Na means no. Na means not. Awa means down, below, toward, downward. Sida means sink. Na means you means at of sinking downward. So all sidana, sinking downward. Na is not sinking downward. The Pali word itself is very simple and clear to explain. But in simple colloquial language, it means giving up. Because it is a prefix with a na, so not giving up. And no sidana altogether means not giving up. Not giving up, not withdrawing, not retreating from the spiritual path. A person with a strong viriya never give up. He strive on. He continue his effort. That's what viriya motivates a person. Without the presence of viriya in a person's mind, his actions will be sluggish and slow. With the viriya, a person will be always moving forward, making effort continuously. So this is very interesting explanation found in commentary texts. So altogether, viriya has the characteristic of lifting up, being motivated. It has the function of remaining firm and being supported. It is just only not withdrawing. It's not withdrawing from one's pursuit, one's spiritual part, one's effort. So this is what viriya's general characteristics are. I share you through explanation of the commentary text. Now let me explain another bojjhanga. This bojjhanga is called Piti Sambojjhanga. This is only like the profit bojjhanga. You don't need to explain it. What you need is you have to invest your bojjhanga by using your capital bojjhanga. Sati bojjhanga and viriya bojjhanga. Profit is to expect after hard work. Now let me explain what the Piti means. Piti is a combination of two words, P and T. P is a root which means to be satisfied. T means out of being satisfied and being fulfilled, being joyous. It's like the way a student passed his high school examination or graduated from the college. The moment he know he passed his examination, he want to dance because his mind, his bodies are elated and thrilled. He cannot control his joy. He just want to jump up and dance and maybe croning some sort of his favorite song, enjoying himself. For a student, a successful student who have made great effort to succeed a particular hard examination, difficult examination, his joy is very wonderful. The whole world around him is full of joy. The flowers are blooming in beautiful colors. The tree leaves are fluttering in joyous harmony. And everything seemed to be very happy at that moment. This is how the joy of a young person can be expressed. In the same way, when a meditator progresses in his practice, he noticed the absence of pain. They become less and less. Any pain arises, he can observe with a very sharp mindfulness. Right away, at the moment they appear, he just noted it quickly. And the pain itself disappears instantly. And the pain thus become infrequent. The mind itself is become very well behaved. And there is ever-present mindfulness. It's not agitated, no wandering thoughts. Even if occasional thoughts come, they are very gentle. He knows even the moment it arises, even before it arises. Only when meditator achieve that state, he start having wonderful occurrence of piti sambhojjhanga. This is how and when piti arises. Now let me explain the characteristic of piti. The first word used in commentary is prana lakkhana. Prana lakkhana piti. Prana is a kita noun which consists of two components, prat and yud. Pra means to be spread, to spread. Yud becomes ana, so it means the act of being spread, being infused. So prana lakkhana means the moment piti arises, the whole body and the whole spiritual flow is infused with the joy. So prana lakkhana means it has the characteristic of infusion. The body and the mind is infused with the joy of nature, very light, very subtle and subtle, so fine and so delicate. Another characteristic mentioned in the commentary is called Dhoti Lakkhana. It has the characteristic of being joyous. Dhoti is also a kita noun, which consists of two components, tusa and ti. Tusa is the root. Tusa means to be joyous, to be satisfied. Ti means out of. So out of being joyous. So in commentary, the characteristic of piti is mentioned in 2 words. Now, the function. Kaya Thitzana Vinana Rasa. Kaya Thitzana of body and mind, Vinana Rasa, has the function of satisfying. The moment piti arises, body and minds are happy and satisfied, like a gentleman or a lady who have learned that she has won $1 million lottos. The moment that person hears the news, the moment that person knows he won the lotto, he cannot compose himself. He starts feeling so happy and so thrilled. The body and the mind at that moment are very buoyant with the joy. That person even doesn't feel that he's walking on the floor. His feet and his body are so buoyant and overwhelmed with the joy. You can imagine how joyous it will be. But that is generated by material things. Piti, which can be developed through the spiritual condition, in this case, very positive, wholesome, unadulterated mental condition is much more supreme, much more superior than the Lotto winner's joy. Lotto winner's joy is mixed with a lot of the attendant problems. He started worrying about his privacy. He started worrying about how to remain anonymous in order to keep himself safe and his money, his world safe. He started thinking endlessly about how he should keep the money, how he should use the money. So many things come up, so much suffering. You can imagine. Because there are possible danger associated with the money. He's no longer safe. Even though he's become a millionaire, he's no longer safe. He cannot go everywhere like the way he used to before. He has to use precaution to maintain his privacy. Not only his privacy, his family's privacy. Otherwise, the guys will come. This is how unadulterated spiritual joy, material joy related with the material possession are very different. So Thitzana Vinana Rasa is very simple. Piti has the function of satisfying body and mind, causing joy to the body and mind. This is the function of the piti. Te san yiwa ordaja pichubatana. General understanding and general view regarding the piti, it just only being happy. Being happy of the body, being happy of the mind. Body is also happy. I have already explained how the bodies feel during the moment a person learned that he won the lotto. Not only the mind is elated, the body is elated. In the same way, for a meditator who have made great progress in his practice, the body starts feeling joy. You cannot notice it because the body has no language to communicate with you. But the body has its own sign to show that it is joyous. How? You start noticing the body becoming light, free of any gross physical feel. Normally in every life, we have a lot of gross feel. The moment we sit on the cushion, our lower torso touch with the cushion. As long as it remains in contact with the cushion, we feel gross sensation. If there's a hard food flow, we feel a little bit of hardness and pain. If there's a cold surface, we feel the cold. And there's some sort of discomfort to some degree in the body. And we also aware that we have that this physical body sitting on the Dhamma hall. But when a person has developed some degree of the piti and passaddhi, he starts losing that gross physical feel of the body. Sometimes there is no physical dimension, no physical feel of the body. He thought there's no body anymore, just only the knowing mind and the objects. And not only that, and the body start moving a little bit up. It's being lifted up because it's very light. It is unbelievable for those who never have any knowledge about such a positive wonderful experience of advanced meditation. I think I have mentioned about one experience I have seen with my eye, but not my experience. My experience is rather mild. And someone sitting in front of me, his body is being lifted up to 1.5 inches upward. He doesn't know it. Then it's bounced down and up and down. He doesn't know it's very gentle. Another incident is about a child, about a 12-year-old who is practicing anapanasati meditation in the sleeping position. Because the children are very innocent, very pure, and free of any kind of unwholesome mental conditions, they can easily develop sustained degree of concentration, sustaining level of concentration, and bodily calm and mental calm. Even though the boy is lying on the bed, his body is being lifted up a few inches off the bed. Sometimes it's called the levitation. This is spiritual levitation generated by the pure and very strong, powerful mind. It can happen, but not to everybody. It needs a lot of the right condition, right ingredients, and balanced amount. Like the wonderful and delicious dish you enjoy, the cook needs to put ingredients in balanced amount, in the proportionate amount. Otherwise, the dish will be spoiled. Very awful taste, with a very awful taste. In the same way, wonderful experience of meditation occurs only after balanced, positive mental states are fully comprised and fully present in that person. Otherwise, such kind of wonderful nature, especially noticeable nature of piti will not arise. Only some occurrence or lightness of the body swing back and forth and swinging to sidewards and sideways, not violently, but very gently. These are the signs, bodily signs of the PTs. Then the meditator, no, this is the PT. But for those who never have experience, they may not know. So that's when the commentary said, Thitzana eva ordaja pisupatthana. Body is generally known, understood, as the both body and mind are happy at that moment. Now let me continue to explain another bojjhanga, passaddhi bojjhanga, passaddhi sambojjhanga. This is also very important to understand, but you cannot expect immediately. You cannot expect because they are like the very delicious and sweet days of the fruit. They need maturity, they need time, they need convergence of the various mental components. So passaddhi is a combination of 2 or 3 words, pa, sambhava, and tit. Pa is specially, sambhava means being calm. Tit is the act of being calm specially. Pa prefix signifies special nature of the calm, not ordinary calm. It's sustained calm and overall calm. Please note that piti and passaddhis are like twin children. They cannot be separated. When the piti arises, passaddhi arises. When passaddhi arises, piti arises. They occur one after another, sometimes simultaneously. A meditator may not be able to notice it. Now let me explain in the commentary. The first characteristic is called the upasma lakkhana. Passaddhi has the characteristic of being calm. This kind of calm is sustained calm. Now the function. Kaya citta dhrita naimatana rasa. It's a very long compound noun. Kaya citta dhrita naimatana. 4 words combined together in this compound noun structure. Kaya means of body. Citta means of mind. Dhrita means restlessness or more commotion or disturbance. Originally, dhrita means heat, but this is not relevant to translate as heat. It can be interpreted as fatigue, being tired. The body and the mind no longer feel tired, or body tiredness and mental tiredness, body heat and mental heat, body discomfort and mental discomfort, body disturbance and mental disturbance. Naimatana, crushing and pressing. The moment passaddhi arises, it has the capacity to crush, to repress body fatigue and mental fatigue, body commotion and mental commotion. Body commotion, you understand, physical commotion, physical discomfort. and physical fatigue and physical pain. And mental fatigue, mental distraction, and mental commotion is incidents of wandering thought, endlessly wandering thought. Some occasional thoughts of desire and craving, and anger, hatred, aversion, feeling guilty, feeling remorseful, feeling bad about something, etc. These are called the mental commotion, mental fatigue. That can cause mental fatigue. And this word is a very difficult word to interpret in simple English. Originally, the term means being fatigued, being tired, being burned out. So both body and mental fatigue, or body burnout and mental burnout, are repressed by the moment passaddhi arises. It can be noticed by the body, by means of the body sign. The body becomes very light. There's no touch, no gross feel, no discomfort in any part of the body. No pain. Even if the small, slight pains arise, they easily disappear the moment a meditator noted. Physical discomfort or bodily tiredness, body fatigue, thus remain repressed by this wonderful sustaining mindfulness. And the body calm occurs. Now mental fatigue, mental burnout, how they are repressed. Now I will explain. Why mindfulness is ever present, strong, sustained, and relentless, there's no chance for negative mental conditions to arise. Even if they arise, just only very slight and insignificant thoughts arise. The meditator can note it. The moment he notes, they pass like raindrops. In front of you, the raindrops just fall and disappear. There's no way for us to follow up or to speculate where the raindrops go, where the raindrops disappear. We don't need to think about. We just simply let go. When I was young, I was very much fascinated as a child. When the rains come, from the roofs, the rainwaters come flowing down and creating a small river and also creating bubbles, beautiful bubbles flowing down in the flow of the water. While I'm looking at those water bubbles pass out and disappear. In the same way, we are fascinated with our wandering thoughts. We keep thinking about where is wandering thoughts come from and where it disappear. We try to chase it. Actually, it is in material state. We need to let go of immaterial thoughts. Simply just develop, let go, ignore. Even though we use the term let go, we are just letting go of nothing, letting go of immaterial thoughts, impermanent thoughts. Once you understand that, you will appreciate your effort. This is a training, your everyday sport. Every sport in badminton court, you have to use your racket, and when the moment shutter comes, just ready to pick up and strike back. This is a spiritual sport. You are just playing spiritual badminton. use the mindfulness racket and ready to pick up and ready to strike back. It's very simple and clear. That's why how Buddha teach you to let go. And this way you can handle wandering thoughts. Otherwise, they will be bothering you all the time. Now let me explain general understanding and view of the Passaddhi. Great commentator Buddha Kosa is very simple and direct to the point when he is mentioning about the general understanding of the Passaddhi. Kaya Chaitana Apripandana Siddhi Bhava Pichupatana. Kaya Chaitana, all body and of mind. Apripandana, not shaking and not fluttering. Siddhi Bhava, just remaining calm. So to translate it in simple English, Passaddhi is to be understood as the mind and body are being calm and without any kind of trembling and just remaining calm and peaceful. The explanation itself is very simple. So when Passaddhi arises, the body is not agitated, the mind is not agitated, it remains calm and peaceful, like the peaceful water of a very wonderful lake. And it remains calm without any motion, without any kind of agitation. This is what Passaddhi means. It's very wonderful. So, Piti and Passaddhis are like your prophets out of your capital. Once a meditator experience Piti Sambhojanga and Passaddhi Sambhojanga, he will start feeling joy not only in the mind but also in the body. And bodily joy and mental joy will arise, and body calm and mental calm will arise. And sometimes it's called the euphoria, maybe bodily euphoria and spiritual euphoria. And this kind of euphoric feeling is unadulterated. It's very wonderful. This spiritual euphoria is very much wholesome, harmless. You don't need to buy it. You don't need to make an effort, physical effort in a particular manner. You just only need to practice meditation by making physical effort and mental effort. This is a wonderful state of the meditation. These are wonderful bhujangas. May all of you be able to experience this wonderful bhujangas, and may all of you be able to continue your spiritual path with the dedication and with the commitment and with sustained effort. May your practice progress smoothly.